So in this lecture, we are going to see the elasticity of substitution. The elasticity of substitution is an improvement over the marginal rate of technical substitution. We have already seen the marginal rate of technical substitution as change in capital divided by change in labor, which is equivalent to the slope of an isoquant. Whereas elasticity of substitution is uh, represented by sigma, which talks about change in the capital labor ratio divided by change in marginal rate of substitution. That is, in other words, it actually means the change in the slope of the isoquant, how it changes the factor proportion. For example, here the factor proportion is some amount of x, some amount of capital, and some amount of labor. So this is one ratio. Here you have another ratio. Here you have less capital and more labor. So this capital labor ratio is changing. This capital labor ratio is changing because the slope of the isoquant is changing. Here the slope is flatter, here the slope is steeper. So the relationship between the factor proportion and the slope of the isoquant, in other words, the marginal rate of technical substitution, this relationship is shown by the elasticity of substitution. So how the factor proportion changes as the slope of the isoquant also changing. So here the value of sigma is large here. Why it is large? Because the amount of uh, the slope is flatter, I said earlier. So because of a flatter slope, you need a large variation in the capital labor ratio to maintain the same level of output. So here at A, the marginal rate of technical substitution is flatter. In other words, that slope is quite large, and because of that you need still larger amount of capital labor ratio changes. So then only you can maintain the same level of output at I10. Whereas here what happens? It is steeper. When it is steeper, what happens is, this is a point where the capital labor ratio changes very little for a given change in the marginal rate of technical substitution. So it is very small. So sigma is small where a large change in the slope brings about a small change in capital labor ratio. So since we take absolute value of MRTS, that is the marginal rate of technical substitution, sigma is positive along the isoquant. So along this isoquant, sigma is positive. Earlier we have seen the MRTS is actually negative. Why it takes a negative? Because decline in capital is negative and increase in labor is positive. So negative by positive, we call it as negative. But of course, if you take the absolute value of MRTS, it is positive. But generally MRTS is represented by the slope, and the slope is declining. Therefore, it is always called as a negative value. Here in this case, what happened? We take the absolute value of MRTS, that is, this denominator is always a positive value, and the numerator is also a positive value. Therefore, the sigma is always a positive value along the isoquant. So what is the elasticity of substitution? It shows the change in the factor proportion for a given change in the slope of the isoquant. Remember this definition. Now you can also represent mathematically, sigma is the change in capital, a proportionate change in capital labor ratio divided by proportionate change in the MRTS. So I can re-represent this, reorganize this numerator is brought here, we inverse the ratio and then we multiply, we bring this change here and this here. Therefore, this rearrangement is also done. So the elasticity of substitution is change in capital labor ratio divided by change in MRTS into, I should not have put as equal, actually into MRTS divided by capital labor ratio. We can also say that sigma is the change in the logarithmic value of capital labor ratio divided by change in the logarithmic value of MRTS. So, this is another way of measuring the elasticity of substitution. We have one particular concept called a constant elasticity of substitution. That is where the this rho is called the substitutability of labor. Similarly, the capital is called substitutability of capital is also represented by rho. So, a constant elasticity of substitution production function is represented as Q equals A LP. A is some constant, labor to the power rho plus B some constant into capital to the power rho to the whole of D by P. So, here what happens, this rho is a same value. So, the substitutability of labor is rho, substitutability of capital is also rho. So, that is why we call that as a constant elasticity of substitution production function. Suppose if we assume the value of rho is less than 1, that is it can be 0.5 or 0.75, but it should be same both here, and assume that this A, B and D equals 1, then the same equation can be written as Q equals L to the power rho plus K to the power rho the whole 1 by rho. Now, the marginal productivity of labor is the first order derivative of this Q to L. So, this is the first order derivative. Similarly, the marginal productivity of capital is also the partial derivative of the Q to K. So, this is the derivative. Then MRTS we know minus MPL by MPK, that is marginal productivity of labor by marginal productivity of capital. The marginal productivity of labor is given by this divided by marginal productivity of capital is given by this. So, if you solve this equation, you will get that as minus L by K to the power rho minus 1. So, this is as far as MRTS. So, MRTS equals L by K to the power rho minus 1. I keep L by K and take this rho minus 1 to the other side. I will get L by K equals MRTS to the power rho minus 1. Because if I take to the other side, it becomes the inverse. Then I inverse this ratio. Instead of L by K, I take it as K by L. Then the power actually instead of 1 by rho minus 1, I get 1 by 1 minus rho. So, if this ratio is reversed, then these two numbers will get exchanged. So, this is what one set of equality that we have. Then we also know the logarithmic, taking logarithmic value on either side, logarithmic value of K by L equals, if I take logarithmic value of MRTS to the power 1 by 1 minus rho, it becomes 1 by 1 minus rho into logarithmic value of MRTS. And of course, in the previous slide I have shown, for example, I have shown this. So, the same thing is repeated here. So, KL, I am having this KL logarithmic value of KL, K by L divided by logarithmic value of MRTS equals 1 by 1 minus rho. So, this is the substitution, elasticity of substitution if the production function is a constant elasticity substitution production function, that is CS production function. If it is a CS production function, then the elasticity of substitution is 1 by 1 minus rho, where rho is substitutability of capital as well as substitutability of labor. So, this is one result that we have in the case of a constant elasticity of substitution production function, which we call it as CES production function. There are three specific forms of CES production function, which we will see. So, that is called a linear production function. What is linear production function? This is a CES production function. In that, equate the rho to 1, then you will get this sort of an equation. If everything is made as 1, then equation is Q equals 1 L plus K, where the power is only 1, which means it is a linear production function. Here, if the substitutability, that is the elasticity of substitution, rho is 1 by 1 minus rho, we know that rho is 1. So 1 by 1 minus 1, that is 1 by 0. 1 by 0 is infinity, and factors are perfectly substitutable. That is, if factors are perfectly substitutable, then elasticity of substitution is infinity. This is one result. Understand, in a linear production function, factors are perfectly substitutable. If factors are perfectly substitutable, then the elasticity of substitution for a linear production function is infinity. Similarly, we have represented a fixed proportion production function. In a case of a fixed proportion production function, the value of rho becomes infinity. If value of rho is infinity, then everywhere you will have infinity here. So Q equals L to the power infinity, K to the power infinity, 1 by 1 infinity, all that. So if rho is infinity, then elasticity of substitution is 0. What does it mean? You cannot substitute the two factors. So substitution between factors is impossible. That is, you cannot substitute the factors for one another. So that is why it is called a fixed proportion production function. If two factors are not substitutable, then that production becomes a fixed factor production function. There is a specific type of Cobb-Douglas production function, which is also a constant elasticity or CES production function, provided the value of rho is 0. So if value of rho is 0, then the elasticity of substitution is 1. That is, for a Cobb-Douglas production function, the elasticity of substitution is 1. So these are the three results we get from the CES production function. Next, returns to scale. When we talked about the short run production function, we are talking about diminishing returns to a factor, that is returns to labor or returns to capital. So we are talking about a return to a factor of production. Whereas in the long run production function, we will be talking about returns to scale. Why we call it as returns to scale? Because here we are not changing one factor of production, we are changing all factors of production. So an output of a firm, it changes. The change in output of a firm changes all inputs proportionately. What is the relationship? So a constant returns to scale means the change in output is same as the change in input. If input is increased by 10%, then output will also increase by 10%. This is called a constant returns to scale. If the change in output is more than the change in input, that is, for a 10% increase in input, output increases by 20%. That means there is increasing returns to scale. Similarly, if the change in output is less than the change in input, for a 10% increase in input, there is only 5% increase in output, we call that as decreasing returns to scale. So remember, returns to scale is used only in the context of long run production function, where we are talking about the change in output due to change in all factors proportionately, all inputs proportionately. So this is another concept you will have to remember, what we call it as returns to scale. Similarly, the technical progress. See, with time, you know that the technology of production is keeping on changing with time. So when technology of production changes with time, we represent that as A as a function of t, that is A of t, which represents the technological change. So as technology changes, then the ratio at which L and K will be combined will also change, because every technology will not use labor and capital in the same proportion. So some technology will use more capital, or certain other technologies may use less capital and more labor. So any technological change that does not change the factor proportion, that is, what is AT? If AT means if any technological change does not change the factor proportion, it is neutral. What is neutral? The technological change is neutral. Otherwise, the technological change is non-neutral. So we understand the technological change is inevitable. It keeps on changing with time, but certain technological changes will not change the proportion in which capital and labor is used. But certain technological changes will change the capital and labor. Normally, we have only non-neutral technological change. All of us can observe where in our day-to-day life, production technologies change, but along with that, the ratio in which capital and labor combined in the production will also be changing. So mostly the technological changes in production are always non-neutral in character. Okay. So with this, I have given you 3 lectures on production function. You refer to a book, Microeconomics by Jeffrey Perloff, uh, one of the books that I had sent you by the uh, mega storage space, where I've given you 15 microeconomics books. So one of that is Microeconomics by Jeffrey M. Perloff. You read chapter 6, from which I have given these 3 lectures, and take notes and try to learn. We will see on cost in our next set of lectures. Thank you.